In Brazil, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, ADRA, has been a support arm for the victims of the floods in Alagoas state. The region had 24,000 people homeless and displaced due to the rains in recent days. 31 cities declared a state of emergency. Donations of clothes, food, cleaning, and hygiene materials represents the focus of the emergency campaign.
On the walls, there are marks of the flood. The small village of Aparecida in Alagoas is one of the regions most affected by the floods. In Brazil, we are at the beginning of winter, and scenes like these, unfortunately, are common and recurrent in some parts of the northeast of the country. One of the victims of this year's rains is Maria Aparecida. The road to get home remains filled with water. As we approach her house, she asked us not to be scared by what we are about to see. The little clay house has no roof, and the structure has been completely destroyed by the water.
As it's made of clay, it cannot stand it. It broke here, that part. And it's like this.
She shows us up close the fragility of the walls. The place is inappropriate and dangerous to live in. That's why Maria Aparecida remains displaced, not knowing when she will be able to have a home again. For boatman Cícero, the situation is similar. With the rain rapidly advancing into his home, he had to turn his boat into a shelter for more than a week.
We don't have a certain shelter. There is a school, but it is very crowded, and when we arrive, it is very full.
We don't really have a shelter.
We don't really have a shelter here.
The village where Maria and Cícero live was one of the places benefited by ADRA, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency. Around 1,000 families have so far received food, clothing, hygiene, and cleaning materials, as well as vouchers for supermarket purchases.
We conducted the survey of communities affected by the rains, where we go door to door in people's homes, recognizing their need, and we carry out the registration of these families. These families are already being assisted. Basic food baskets, sheets, clothes, personal hygiene and cleaning materials have already been distributed. And we are also now at the stage of handing over the vouchers. These are cards with a balance so that these families can also buy materials in supermarkets.
Donations that arrive at a very important time. Now that families are back into their homes, all help is needed to start over. 1,000 of people who just lost everything. For them, each of those donations represents hope.
One of the beneficiaries of the emergency project is Patricia. She, her husband, and their 5 children rely solely on fishing, an activity that is affected by the rain. ADRA's help came just when they needed it the most.
I can't explain. When I remember the situation, it makes me want to cry. We live in this situation because there is nowhere else to live. We only have here to live. There is no other corner. You have to buy food for the house. That's what you need most. At the moment, it's diapers for my daughter.
The aid granted by ADRA comes from donations that reach the hands of those who need it the most through the hands of these volunteers. And even if it's just a little, it can mean a lot to those who have lost everything.
Now is the time to live the gospel in practice. Many municipalities were affected due to the floods here in Alagoas, the rains, and the church now needs to join forces with ADRA so that we can help. Not only the church, our colleges that we have here, the church office itself. We joined forces with ADRA for us to be able to ease the pain of these people, to live a little bit what they are living through, the aid we are able to get to them. I really like a phrase in the book Gospel Workers that says that when we help others, we help ourselves.